Good morning to all of you. Actually, it could be afternoon. I'm not sure wherever you are. So I'm going to give you my final zepbound / monjaro review. The monjaro I had to do the very last week because the zepbound was not covered through the insurance, but it's the same medicine. It's like taking Advil versus Motrin. So it's basically the same thing. One thing I have found with these shots is where you put them matters, and how hard you hold the shot to your skin seemed to matter for me, at least with the amount of side effects I was getting. The harder you hold it to your skin and the harder the shot goes in, the stronger the side effect. When I did it the one day in my stomach, that was almost as bad as the very first week. So I would have never done it in my stomach again. My arms were the ones that I got the least side effects, out of side effects, and then my legs were side effects, but the stomach was awful. I never would have done it again. I did choose to stop, and the reason I chose to stop is because I decided that after 11 pounds, after 5 weeks, it was not worth it to me to feel as crappy as I felt. I had constant nausea. Nothing tasted good. Nothing tasted good. I had constipation so horrible. I could not go to the bathroom, no matter what I tried. My stomach hurt so bad. And I'm sure that's from the fact that the food, when you're on these shots, your food is not processing. It's staying in your stomach. So to have surgery, you have to wait 2 weeks to go off the shot for 2 weeks before you're cleared for surgery, because food is still in your stomach. That's why you're full all the time, because your stomach is never clearing of food. That's why you get constipated, because the shot is slowing down your digestion. Your food is not processing through, and it's stuck in your stomach. By the time you try to go to the bathroom, and I'm still trying to clear myself out, it's like a rock, because it's been sitting there in your stomach. So I'm only on week 1, and today I'm finally feeling better that way. I have a whole nother week before the food is, like literally gone, and the other food is processing correctly. The other thing I got really scared about, being that your stomach is never empty, is what if I needed emergency surgery? What if I was in a car accident? I have an aneurysm. What if the aneurysm went bad or whatever? What if I needed emergency surgery? And they didn't know that I was on monjaro or zepbound. That's the first thing. But the fact that the food is still in your stomach, and when you go for surgery, you go for 24 hours of not eating for that very purpose, which that will never happen while you're on the shot. I know the shot works for a lot of people, and I'm envious of that. I really am. But it just simply did not work for me. What it did do for me was help me get a good foundation for going on. It gave me the ability to not be eating any sweets, not be craving any sweets, not be drinking any beer, not be eating carbs, the high carb things that I really like, all the noodly things that I really like. It gave me a good foundation because I was able to stay away from that. Now, it's only been a week, so I'm sure that it'll be a little bit more work as it goes on, as my stomach starts to act normally and behave normally. But for now, I've been doing very well, doing low carb and no sugar. Actually, I lost 2 more pounds doing that, so I was very, very pleased doing that. This isn't to deter anybody who's doing great on the shot or who wants to try the shot. Give it a try. I'm glad I tried it. I've wanted to try it. I see all these celebrities getting so nice and skinny. I wanted to try it. I have a complete hip replacement coming up in July, so I wanted to have weight down for that. So I'm going to definitely continue. I am a little bit more hungry, which is good because I never was hungry. But it subsides. It doesn't last for very long. When I eat, I never had problems eating a lot at a time. That was never my issue. So that's the same for me. It was more of what I ate. I like the high carb stuff, and I like desserts. So staying away from those 2 things, I'm still being able to do. And now that I'm on that pattern, I'll be fine. I've been here before. It's when for me, have that one sweet or that one carby meal that does it for me. It's kind of like an alcoholic for me. It just makes me go right off the deep end. So for me, I chose to stop it. I feel so much better. I have energy. I did not have energy while I was on the shot. I think mainly because I always felt so crappy. I've got, I think, more patience and endurance. I don't feel like I was being patient on the shot. I felt like things were just really bothering me and irritating me very quickly. And again, I didn't feel good. So that could have been a part of that as well. I'm sleeping better. So, I mean, all the things are positive going off of the shot. I was afraid that because I hear about rebounds, so I was kind of scared of that. That's not been an issue. It's taken a total week for my stomach to growl. My stomach is finally growling, but I do a fasting from my last meal at night until I eat, usually it's lunch. But even having done that on the shot, I was never hungry when I ate. So I'm finally today getting some stomach, like, oh, I'm getting hungry. So I'm glad. That means that my stomach is at least getting emptier. So I'm glad about that. I have not had any rebound problems. I think the problem with people that have rebounds, and a nurse told my son this, is that they don't change their eating habits when they're on the shot. So when they go off of the shot, they haven't already changed their eating habits, and so they're continuing to eat like they did, and then the weight comes back on. So I don't do any heavy exercising because of my bad hip and bad shoulder, but I have been trying to do some strengthening exercises, a little bit of walking. I don't do a lot of walking because of my hip, but I've been trying to do a little bit. So I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover in this video. And again, this is the last one that you'll see, at least as far as zepbound goes, or monjaro. But I do recommend that if you want to give it a try, that you just know what kind of side effects you're going to be looking at before you give it a try. So have a great day. Thanks for listening.